Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into something you see every single day but probably don't think twice about: punctuation. We're about to see how just a tiny little line or a few small dots can completely change what a sentence means. It's actually pretty wild. Let's get into it. All right, let's kick things off with a little puzzle for you. Take a look at these two phrases. I mean, they look almost exactly the same, right? But believe me, their meanings are worlds apart. One describes a very, very brave mouse, and the other, a pretty terrifying ogre. We're going to solve this mystery in just a bit, but first, let's look at another piece of our punctuation toolkit. Okay, first up, the ellipsis. You've definitely seen these three little dots around. They kind of look like they're just trailing off a thought, but nope, they have a very specific job to do. So what is that job? Well, our source material breaks it down simply. An ellipsis shows that either a word has been left out or a sentence just isn't finished. It's a signal to you, the reader, that there's more to the story, or maybe that something's being left unsaid on purpose. Think about it. If you read the phrase, "don't tell me," followed by those three dots, what does that feel like? It creates the sense of suspense, doesn't it? It kind of makes you lean in, waiting for what comes next. That's the power of the ellipsis. It creates a pause, an expectation, that unfinished thought just hangs in the air. All right, now for our main event today, the mighty hyphen. And I know what you might be thinking, a hyphen? Really? But trust me on this little line is an absolute hero when it comes to making your writing crystal clear. At its most basic level, a hyphen's job is to be like glue. As our source shows us, it just connects two or more words to create one single idea. You see it all the time, right? In words like coordinate, co-own, grand aunt, or when you're describing someone as fair-haired. The hyphen just links those words together so we read them as one single thing. Simple enough. But here's the cool part. That's just its day job. The hyphen also has a secret identity, a real superpower. Its true mission is to swoop in and prevent total, complete confusion. It is the defender of clarity. And that brings us right back to where we started. It is time to solve the ogre problem and see exactly how one tiny little line can change, well, everything. Okay, so check out these two phrases side by side. Without the hyphen, you get a mouse eating ogre, which means you have this tiny little mouse who is somehow in the middle of eating a giant ogre. I mean, what a crazy picture, right? But add that one little hyphen and you get a mouse eating ogre. Now it's an ogre whose whole deal is that he eats mice. Two completely different situations. And this image just nails the point perfectly. See, on the left, the words are all separate. It's a mouse who is eating an ogre. But over on the right, that hyphen glues mouse and eating together, turning them into one single adjective, mouse-eating, that describes the ogre. That single line tells us exactly who is eating whom. Bam, problem solved. And of course, this isn't just for ogres and mice. This stuff is everywhere. Think about the difference between a mix-up, which is a noun for a confusing situation, versus the action to mix up your socks. Or a bad-tempered pet, where bad-tempered is one solid idea, not a pet who is just, bad at controlling its temper. And for sure, a 9-year-old boy would be super weird to read without those hyphens. So why does any of this matter? I mean, really? Because whether you are firing off a quick text to a friend or polishing up your resume for a job, clarity is absolutely everything. Using punctuation the right way isn't just about following some dusty old rules. It's about making sure people understand you exactly the way you want to be understood. So the big takeaway from all this is pretty simple. These tiny marks on the page are not just decoration, they're powerful tools. An ellipsis can create suspense, and as we saw, a hyphen can literally save you from imagining a mouse eating an ogre. They create massive clarity in all of your communication. And that leaves us with one last thing to chew on. We've seen what hyphens and ellipses can do, but what other punctuation mark can you think of that has the power to completely flip the meaning of a sentence? Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.